Hey, gamers, you didn't see that coming, did you?
I mean, no, not at all.
No, I clearly didn't see it coming either myself. Ah, there we go. Too loud in my own headphones. Now we're here. Now we're good. Now we're happy. How are you?
we happy?
No.
Yeah,
Yes?
okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just kind of feel very middling.
it's that kind of a day, isn't it?
This has been that kind of like a weekend.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. Sorry. So I've given up. My bathroom has been a disaster area for the
Yeah,
past.
see, I feel like if you're at middling level after what's been going on with your bathroom, you're doing pretty good.
I finally gave up and said, you know what? I am having a shower while this dehumidifier runs because it's just going to suck all the moisture out anyway, and it did, and it was great. But the thing we've come up with now is that the dehumidifier and the industrial fan that's moving together, I think they come together to form a minor chord, and it's starting to grate on us to have like living in this world that is constantly in this downturn music zone, like, and it's never resolving. So
My neighbors above us are still doing some sort of flooring thing, and so just at random times of the day, sometimes there's a scraping noise.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes there's a nailing noise. Sometimes there's vacuuming and other stuff, and it never seems like it's consistent enough for me to believe that anything is happening. Like someone's decided they should do their floor like 1 square foot a day at a time or something.
It's a real shame you don't live in a concrete building because I really enjoy. I mean, by enjoy, I mean, the game of what's that noise going on above me? And sometimes, as you say, it's scraping. Sometimes it's nailing. My favorites are the ones where you hear concrete drilling, or sort of jackhammering.
Well, they have a dog, and it's a small dog, so we can tell when it's the dog. It's just like that, like claw.
Yeah, they're
like,
very bad at floor work.
Thing. Their little paws are not meant for hammers. There's like this rolly thing, and we figured out. We think they have like basically a sweeper carpet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like thing, because it keeps going for the longest time, but there's never any vacuuming sounds. So I think they've got like hardwood floors with a thing, and that's really weird to hear. Yesterday it sounded like they kept dropping a ball.
That's interesting.
Which was odd. I've never heard that sound before.
Yeah. My favorite was the one where I'm pretty sure they were installing in-floor heating in a cement floor, which meant jackhammering back and forth these tiny grooves that go through the floor, into which they will then lay some pipes and then cover it over with some more cement, and then eventually sometime in the future that will break and ruin for everyone the good time that they were having. Speaking of good times that we are all having, this is Rhythm Café, and it's a show where we play rhythm games and talk about them, or talk about other things depending on which rhythm game we're playing. Today, we're playing a game that we haven't played yet, so we'll probably talk more about the game than other things.
For the first while, and then we'll see how much it keeps our attention.
Exactly. This is a game that we've played the previous version
We've played the first version. There's now a new version.
Yep.
This is Melody's Escape 2.
Yes, 2.0.
This one is in early access.
Oh, okay. So this isn't
just so you know.
It's 2.0. 0.5.2.
Yeah. Now, normally we don't do early access games, specifically in rhythm games, especially because of the rhythm games are fairly short.
Yep.
And if we play an early access rhythm game, sometimes that only gives us 15 minutes of content, and we have 2 hours to fill.
Please see 2 episodes ago.
And even if we do a lot of this banter, there's only so much we can fill and not put a game in before somebody notices. So, but in the case of this game, because of the kind of game it is, with putting your own music and stuff, I took a look at it, and I feel like the bones of it are mostly there. They have 14 songs stock, which is what we're going to be checking out today.
That should be enough to get through.
If it's not, we can vamp.
Oh yeah.
From what I can tell, there's like additional stuff that's not in there yet, like a lot of costumes and whatevers. But the basics of the game are there, and I kind of feel like it will be enough for us to at least go over it and see if we like it compared to the first version.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out. There has been some art style changes, which are interesting already.
Mm-hmm.
Thicker lines, bigger booty. That's all I know so far. We should definitely start the game.
Should we move over to the thing where people can see it?
The game zone,
and
yes.
maybe start the game and see.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it has controller support or not yet.
That's a good point. This could be a very...
The first one does. I assume the second one will definitely have it at some point.
One would hope. Blah.
The music is, I think, the same.
I think so too. I'm curious as to seeing if it's coming through, because we've had some issues with audio already. So if you're grooving, then it's going. If you're not grooving at home, then there's something wrong.
Okay, well the controller works, at least in the screen.
Okay, people are grooving. Good, we're good.
Good. So, cosmetics has changed a lot.
Yeah. First of all, we're 3 dimensionals now. Full body suit.
Yoga's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think they've really added a lot of these things yet. Any cat ears? Any horns?
Hey. Okay.
I kind of liked Inverted.
Inverted's my favorite, other than Devil, which might just be a bit much, though.
This has a very We Fit trainer look to it.
Yes, that's what it... Yes, you've got it completely. I'm guessing that once we can make the hairstyle just like a crop top, then it's going to be complete We Fit trainer.
I'll point out we can only be in the ocean.
Soon we'll evolve legs.
I like that the cat ears are just like thicker horns, really.
Can't get enough of your love, but to save you now, I got to give it up. Can't get enough.
Yeah, I think I like this one.
But to save you now,
Settings. This is where the exciting stuff is. Ooh, load iTunes playlist. That'll be useful in the future.
Hide music streaming disclaimer page. Interesting. File drag and drop is neat.
Yeah. Folders is good. That's gonna make it very easy when we come back here for our own music, I think.
Show countdown after pause.
Nice.
Show errors pop up. When you fail to hit an input correctly. Well, we'll see how that is.
I mean, as long as they're not like okay
Timing,
errors.
accuracy.
All right. No limits. Maximum quality. Ooh, ocean
The
quality.
ocean quality is high.
High.
Standard volume
Everything
settings.
seems okay here.
Keyboards. Gamepads.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, so controller support is fully built in right now. That's good to see.
That's all we need. Okay, we're done. Good. We've checked We've checked all of the options, and now we are done for the day.
All right, so low obstacle density requires only one button per intensity action. Medium density uses all 4 color buttons.
Tense is gonna be you're gonna have circles and squares.
Circles and left stick. Wait, your own difficulty mode.
Ooh.
That's new. I don't think they did that last
I like
time.
those.
Autoplay.
The game will play. If we can just sit back and let this game go for us.
Honestly, I kind of like that in some rhythm games, like getting to like play and see a song can be really good. I think we usually play on medium.
That's my thought too. Yeah, because like I think
Because this is like relaxing is nice, but a little bit too low.
Yeah. Medium lets me use both sides of my body for the same thing, which I am happy with.
All right, what do you want to start with? Dance, electropop, or indie folk?
Shiraban or Asus. I mean, let's dance electropop. Shirobon is electrical music from London, England. In 2006, Shirobon started making music using a Nintendo Game Boy. Went on to release music and play shows using only the Game Boy. Shirobon now plays shows around the world with his Game Boy and runs the record label Hyperwave, which is played on a Game Boy. Since then, he's expanded his sound and unique style to of which toys and various genres, like the Game Boy Advance. His sound is considered futuristic yet nostalgic, like the Game Boy.
Well, I'm noticing a big difference.
Yep, we are absolutely going in a different direction.
So the previous game, for those of you who know it, is kind of a 2D side-scroller, endless runner style thing.
That's a lot less unpleasant.
Oh, I hope we still do the flying in the air from this view.
Yeah.
We still have a similar feel in the rumble section.
I do like the ocean waves being represented as the, I want to say the waveform? Yeah, the waveforms of the music. Here we go.
Still does the slow-mo. Oh, that makes me happy.
Oh, that's cool.
Ah! I have to catch things. Wasn't expecting that.
Can't get enough of your love, but to save you now, I got to give it up. Can't get enough.
Oh, you know I don't think it did. So at the beginning of the songs in the first one, we have that little animation of her putting her headphones on.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think they did that here.
Oh, I have to pay attention next time.
Pay more attention. Because I was just thinking about like the workshop's not started up for this, and part of what we did with the first one was we get different outfits through the Steam Workshop, and it was always interesting if people gave her like a hoodie because she put her hood up, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it's just headphones.
I'm just really worried that this Shirobon guy must walk around everywhere with his, looking over his shoulder constantly to see if Daft Punk is about to come out and shank him.
I wonder if you could adjust this for Ring Fit. Because the Ring Fit game is essentially a runner in this viewpoint, but you have to use the ring to like hit things and do whatever. And I kind of wonder if you could adjust this for the Ring Fit control scheme.
So I guess that like the Joy-Cons technically are just Bluetooth controllers. So you probably could adapt it in some way.
I just think it would be really fun to take Ring Fit for your run with this game, put your own music in it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat. Did either of us look to check her if she put on her headphones?
No, I was busy.
Yeah.
Busy talking about Ring Fit.
I was busy thinking about hardware hacking, so high five.
We really should look at them at each other when we do that.
Reminder, if you see something funny, clip it. That's the ticket.
I'm I'm glad they kept that in. That was one of my favorite parts of the first game. Was the slow mo.
I'm having a harder time remembering to hold the button in this game.
Yeah, I'm finding that too. Because you have to look at the platform you're going over to see it instead of the. Well, I guess you kind of did that in the first one. It's just you had more of a view.
The perfect machine. The perfect machine. The perfect machine. The perfect machine.
Yep.
I was afraid I wasn't gonna like this one.
The game or
Well,
the song?
I knew about the track being behind instead of side to side from screenshots, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like that at all. But honestly, it feels like more of the same, with just a bit of a different look.
Yeah, it is a bit more. I find it a bit more difficult, but I don't think I'm going to be not in an upsetting way. I guess the real pudding test will be putting my own music in there and seeing if it feels the same there. You know, when I'm aware of where the music is going to go.
The perfect machine.
I mean, aesthetically, I know that we only have the ocean to be running through, but I do kind of miss the background sky color in the first one would change colors sometimes and kind of become like, felt like you were in a weird wasteland.
Yeah, I'm laughing about the fact that you mentioned that the sky changes colors in the previous game, just as the sky was changing color here. But yeah, it's not quite the same as the cityscape.
Yeah, I mean, my headcanon was always just kind of this thing of like, you're out, she's out going for a walk in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Putting on her headphones to kind of escape the daily grind. And now I'm like, well, now we have like a weird highway sidewalk in the middle of an ocean.
I choose to believe this is like a float bridge to Hawaii. Landed. Back to walking. That song is in Just Shapes and Beats, apparently.
It's so long since I've played that game.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything hardly about it except for the helicopter and all the fun friends we made along the way.
Right in the pirates. Yeah, I don't really remember much about that game except for how much the internet thinks we were bad at it.
I tried to play, because you can get a demo for it, and I tried to play it again solo, and for me it's just not as fun as doing it with a group of people and all flailing.
Yeah. Flailing in a group is definitely the preferred method of flailing.
Well, because I've rewatched the VOD of it every now, like a little parts here and there, and I think, despite the fact that we're all like kind of bad at it, I do think it's really charming that every time one of us dies, we're all very intent on rescuing everyone, even though it's definitely not a smart play to make.
mean, maybe games should make that a more smart play to make.
Oh, I agree. I just think it's really cute. And I'm like, yeah, no, this game's way more fun with other people. Right. Hold the button. I will say, from this perspective, I don't feel like it hurts my teeth as much when I bump into something and fall down. But I do miss us falling off of cliffs.
Yeah. Yeah, the cliff just kind of...
I know there was something really funny about just taking a full-out tumble into an empty cliff.
Oh, especially the ones when you're diving. This is...
Yeah. But otherwise, I think they've achieved basically a similar feel to the first one.
The one thing I would say that I would prefer the 2D version of, or any 2D version of this game, you know, direction agnostic, is that I feel it's a lot easier to know exactly where the beat, or where it wants you to place the beats in the 2D version, whereas here you kind of have to interpret with the music specifically, and hope that the visual and computational portion of the game is matching up with the music. Because I know that's a problem a lot of rhythm games have. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm fighting the engine in this game, which is something I definitely, similar to the way I felt about the first Melody's Escape. I mean, that's teeth level they put those bars at.
Yep.
I saw the shape of her contrail change mid-jump. My personal headcanon now is that she made a little toot while she was up there. Anytime I see one of the flat bars in red come up, too, I'm immediately thinking, oh, the tiniest Tory gate. Where the wee people just shove it under. Oh!
Yeah, I missed a couple.
I'm sure it's fine.
I do really want this game to get Ring Fit support. I really think this would become like my favorite jogging game. Like if it could handle a podcast, okay. And I could input a podcast and do like a fake run. Yeah, I think I could get really behind it.
I've forgotten all the buttons.
I just follow the arrows.
Right, I can do the direction too. Also, I caught it. She does not put on headphones.
That's too bad. This is early access, though. Maybe they'll add it in the full release.
Hey, put in her pull request, or whatever you call a pull request for things that aren't Git. It just occurred to me how terrifying this scape is.
Yeah?
You can't go downhill in water without going down into the water. This is all very against physics, Heather.
I mean, the ocean is literally pouring out of the sides of this bridge like some sort of wave pool. So, I'm not sure we're following any kind of physics laws. Unless the bridge is just a giant wave pool.
Ooh.
Maybe we're the lifeguard on duty.
We're just on our way to help someone who's...
I know, we're just making a round. It's a very large pool, the ocean, you know.
Little known fact.
It's why we're allowed to run.
Yeah, thank you!
And no one else.
Little known fact about lifeguards. Only people allowed to run at the pool. Can't tell me to do nothing. I got my bronze cross.
It's really a shame that they left some pit holes in the bridge.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't fall into. Just the real problem.
Yeah, I kind of want to see us fall in the water.
I mean, I guess that is the,
I do think it's interesting how they handle the slow portion. Because we had a few of those in the first game as well, but it was just like, yeah, she just slows down and walks, and
you get into it.
You get like a little thing across the side that you run into.
But catching it's kind of cool.
I will be totally interested to see what people do with the outfits.
Mm-hmm. Wonder if they'll add a first-person VR mode. That'll be horrifying.
I mean, one benefit to having the track this way is my eyes don't try to make the entire world slide into my vision from right to left. Although it's kind of sliding from up to down, so a little different. That's just a symptom of runner style games.
Yeah, just thinking about what sort of dreams you're going to be having with this game.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a Tetris style game.
I did last night, but not for what you think. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what sort of repetitive computer-based action I was dreaming of.
Computer-based action.
Yeah, or activity.
Destiny?
Nope.
Keyboards.
Nope.
Computer related. Because I was gonna say Gundams, but I don't know.
Okay. Heather, I had a Tetris dream, or a Tetris-style dream, about YouTube ads yesterday.
Yeah, you know I was never gonna get there.
It was literally just the yellow bar, and I could see it going by, like, well, just gotta get through this until the next part of my dream.
So you're living in the Futurama future, huh?
Yeah, if you're wondering what it's like to be terminally online, it's that. I'm not giving Google any of my money to change my dreams.
I will tell you, I came in the living room the other day, and Beach was watching YouTube, and he was watching an entire ad. Because the entire ad was the full first episode of a show that's on, like, Paramount Plus that he's been meaning to check out. And he was like, oh, I guess I'll just watch this. It's a 45-minute episode.
In an ad form.
Yep.
I've just been marking every ad I see as inappropriate. Because they are. They're trying to show me ads when I'm trying to watch TV, and that's inappropriate.
You're a born survivor. Born survivor. Natural predator. Born survivor.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with, because I know there's definitely, I can't read the chat right now, but I know there's definitely somebody in the chat that's like, I don't see what's wrong with watching an entire ad of an episode of a thing. No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But I was horrified, not because of the actions he was committing, but because all my brain could think was, if you accidentally hit the skip ad button now, you're never gonna find this ad again, because you know that they have this video unlisted because it's not really meant to be on YouTube. And it's 45 minutes long. And yeah.
Horrifying.
It's a nice ad you've got there. Be some strange awful if something happened to it.
I mean, I get upset when I see a thumbnail for a video I'd like to see, just as I've clicked the video I'm looking for. Like, geez, well, I can't go back because they'll regenerate the page, and now it's going to be something else based on the information about what I clicked on. Ad's gone for the video's gone forever.
I tell you, usually if I'm in YouTube, the only tab I'm in is my subscriptions tab. I don't go into the homepage.
Usually it's just a watch later for me.
You're a born survivor.
Yeah, that's where the toot comes out.
Though Beach, however, will just look through recommendations all the time.
Oh, no.
And it's kind of fun to watch his recommendations change real time. It's like Hades 2 came out.
Yeah.
Or the announcement for Hades 2 came out, and so that's kidding into the thing, and we're like, oh, we should watch that again because that was fun, and we watched it again, and now his entire feed is full of
just
things about Hades 2. Not just Hades 2, Hades.
The whole thing.
Like production things and people's runs and like all sorts of things.
The true secret, the meaning behind the Hades ending.
Yeah, I asked him if we could watch this Hollow Knight video because I was curious about like a thing, and now his entire feed is full of Hollow Knight that he doesn't want in it. This is what happens when you leave yourself signed in on the TV.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna sign him out.
Well, I'm very quick to go through and delete videos that from my history that I have not watched.
Like, you talk about, like, wrecking someone's Netflix feed by watching a couple of things. You don't do nearly as much damage on a Netflix feed as you do on YouTube when you watch one video of something someone doesn't normally watch on their channel. Way more havoc.
New colors.
I'm glad they kept the hair changing thing.
Yeah.
Cosplaying Melody would be hard because of the color changing wig. Not just because you wouldn't just need a wig that changes color. You literally need to have music playing and the wig changing color to the music.
See, I think
I
you could do something with with fiber optics.
Oh, probably. But I'm just saying you can't just have the wig just change
exactly.
colors. You need music to be playing when it changes colors, which means you're that cosplayer.
Oh no. I mean, the music could just be in the headphones.
I mean, you can get these like cat ear headphones that where in the cat ears are supposed to be speakers. So
Yeah, I've seen those.
I don't know how good they are. Every time I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, cat headphones.
I don't think you're buying those particular headphones for the audio quality.
Yeah, probably not. They're also generally never a cheap investment, and all I can think about is I have some fabric and some Velcro.
Mm-hmm.
If I really wanted to do shit. Because let's face it, me as a human being is not buying a speaker in my headphones to go play out into the world.
No!
That's not something I'm doing.
The headphones are there to put music in my ears,
Yeah.
not put music in your ears, and also to stop you from talking to me.
Besides, I've not curated my music playlists, and occasionally when I'm walking along and I hear certain songs go off, I'm just like, oh, I'm glad there's no children around right now. Why is this song still in my playlist? You know, if you could do like level generation, like editing, where you make your own level, I'd love to make a level that's just a giant staircase with like 1 million torii gates,
Yes.
and then give
all
my
the way up.
character a fox outfit. Okay, so that was the last
Okay,
of that.
that's Shiraban.
I want to just I want to take off the
Oh, to show us the errors?
yeah.
Yeah, we know what we screwed up.
Is that
I think that's
that
the one
one.
we want off. That one I think we want on errors. Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
safe.
It's the right time to rise up.
Indie folk dream pop.
independent husband and wife musical duo based in Austin, Texas. Their songs blend dreamy dark folk with surreal lyrics and cinematic arrangements featuring upright bass, trombone, vibraphone, piano, cello, collages of found sounds, and beyond. Travis and Ailey and their 3 cats stream intimate musical performances twice a week on Twitch. Oh, neat.
Cool. Yeah, found sounds are great for music. I was at a talk with Open Mike Eagle, one of the internet rappers, and he was talking about how he likes to go out into the forest and just wander around and take recordings of stepping on twigs because they make great snare drums. Not even a joke, like
That's
funny, but not even a joke.
Yeah, I mean that's just not something I would have expected. Snare drums.
It kind of made me want to go out and start taking the little Zoom recorder out when I go on walks.
I do think there's something really interesting about finding ambient noises that weirdly you kind of don't notice when they're there, but like when it's missing, right? When stuff like that is missing, you really notice.
And those are the ones that can be, as stock sounds, expensive because they're hard to get because you need to isolate them. But they are absolutely essential to a scene when you're doing a full recreation because, as you say, you don't notice them until they're not there. Oh wow, this changes the vibe immensely.
I feel the kick drum, the hum from your dark sound devouring eyes. I'm craving an excuse to take
Seems a lot quieter than the last album.
the dogs do bite.
I think it might not be quieter in terms of peaks, but it is absolutely less compressed. There is less sound happening here. What I'm also getting out of this is remembering how fun it used to be as a kid to slide down ice-covered sidewalks on a hill on your feet, and thinking how much fun that would be, and then realizing, no, my bones cannot take a fall like that at this age.
I think what you mean to say is it just would be a lot of fun to live in a frictionless society.
I think too much for that to be true. As he goes for his drink and just does, I
mean, truthfully, all I started thinking about was that episode of Magic School Bus where they're on a frictionless service and nobody can do anything because they keep just sliding forever.
Friction's important to people. You want to be able to control your friction. Vaseline, control your friction. They could just have that one for free. Nice.
I really like the hair movement. Like, I feel like they've really nailed it.
Good physics in general. Alright, this one is from the album Guitars for Heads. Heart rate is elevating. Oh, the shadows!
Oh, heck, I didn't notice those before. I like that there's shadows for the music notes too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Huh. Interesting.
Coal fire tonight and head slow. Iron eyes and lit to hide the gallows. The crystal now on bottles in the back and the red robe. Bottles in the back and the red robe. By side him down. Two knocks at the door and he hit the ground. One last breath, well, I suppose. And the beat goes. And the beat goes. And the beat goes. Unbroken strangers filled with blind hope. Perch the thing with feathers made of red smoke. So sun bleeds down on all the tangled rivers and the loading.
Yeah, I still maintain the first game is funnier when you bump into things. But I'm glad this game maintains its feel. It still has that whole, like, I could just put in a bunch of music and play this at home kind of feel.
It's my favorite kind of sequel because it doesn't take anything away from the original, but it keeps everything that I liked about the original.
And the beat goes.
It's not just more of the original because you didn't need to do that because you could already replace the music. But the new perspective is enough to keep it fresh.
I like that we've taken off the
Yeah,
error notification. I actually think that makes us feel a lot more calming.
much cleaner.
Quite grave, something out of nothing for a quiet grave. I sat him down, two knocks at the door and he hit the ground. One last breath, well, I suppose, and the beat goes, and the beat goes, and the beat goes, and the beat goes.
If you fail on the last one, apparently you don't get to come back as yourself. But yeah, the feel of the game depends on the song, which is exactly what I want from this game.
I think the only thing I haven't really seen so far that I would like to see is there were, and it might just be we haven't we haven't hit a song that does it yet. But in the first one, there were some of those moments where the freeze pause was very long, and so your drop was like gigantic.
Yeah, those were fun.
And those were really fun.
Maybe we'll see that in the in some custom music in the future if we do that.
Did we want to take a break first?
It seems like a good time to. Yeah, there's no reason we need to push ourselves. Other
It's
than
time for a break.
yeah, get up, swap your legs, stretch your fluids. You know how to take a break.
You know the drill.
Do it. Just get out of here.
You know I don't like that look in your eyes. Time so less, nothing.
Hello.
We're back. More Rhythm Cafe, more ACS.
ACS.
They tell us that's how it's said, and so we shall. What do we got next? Bloodsucker?
Yep.
Let's suck some blood. Bleh.
Don't have an appropriate outfit for that, I think.
You can suck blood in yoga pants.
I mean, we are wearing black, so if we are messy, we'll be okay.
It's true. Won't make a mess.
You know I don't like that look in your eyes. Time so loud, shut your mouth. You're on the big screen. I know what you're trying to sell me.
The good kind of parasite, aka children.
Bad bloodsucker. I get that itch and I'm not ashamed. I'll make you feel like I feel every day. Fill me up with your nothing news and thousands of me and only one of you. My whole life, who am I? They wanna tell me what is mine. Dance on their bodies in the golden age. They got their poison, but
I can't believe we're as far into December as we are.
Yeah. And yet how short into December we are.
I know, right?
I keep thinking we're like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of where we should be.
I feel like I'm constantly just like, okay, but I have to be cognizant of the fact that there's going to be a different thing going on this week. And then I look at the week and I'm like, no, wrong week.
Yeah, exactly.
Different week. Different week has different things happening.
Another week, yeah. We've got 3 weeks until other people celebrate Christmas, don't worry. I think maybe it's just that I'm not working on a winter holiday project this year. That- I left my Mary Lou out long enough that it's become relevant once again. I mean, honestly, just leave your decorated horse skull up all year. Who's gonna stop you? Other than the homeowners association. But...
And last year, we made a Christmas tree out of our lamp. But we have since broken that lamp. And I don't know, there was something about last because we haven't put up a Christmas tree ourselves in like ages because it's kind of the thing we see when we go visit family or whatever. And last year was just like, no, we're gonna do it because we need something. We need a thing to kind of do and see and be like, no, everything's fine. So we made this, like, we took like a hula hoop and strung lights around this lamp and did this thing, and it was neat. But like I said, we broke that lamp. And I don't know if we're gonna do anything now or not.
I still have this tiny fiber optic tree that I think was given to me by my mother as a joke at some point in the past, and it's become just perfect. So easy to put up, so easy to take down. It has lights, although I think it needs new coin cell batteries. But
when my parents after I moved out eventually, and they moved a couple more times, they ended up just getting a tiny Christmas tree, because like putting up a big thing is a lot of work. I'm not even sure sometimes why we bothered, because like we had a cat and we were missing one of the tree legs, and so we like, because we could put it up in the corner, we could kind of
leave it in the corner.
Well, it didn't look like it was leaning because of the way it worked. But the problem was the cat liked to climb the tree, and that worked fine when there were 4 legs, but because there were 3, the tree came down a lot. And we kept just putting it back up as if that solved it somehow.
I mean, the easy solution to this is just to remove one of the legs from the cat, and then it's not going to climb anymore. It matches the tree and everything's fine.
How do you think the world works?
I try not to.
Clearly.
I get told no a lot.
In the land of plenty, we don't know what the word no means. Give it to me. Give me all the things I want. Make it new and shiny.
I don't know what happened, but I feel like the song heard you.
Yeah.
Turn the power on.
I mean, I don't think, to be fair, I don't think that the song is going to be about odd-legged cat numbers.
That you paid for all the skitters.
I don't think you understand how equality works.
Hoka hoka. Equivalent exchange.
A coronation.
You've seen Full Metal Alchemist.
I have, and did you notice that they misunderstood equivalent exchange as well?
Oh, I've only seen the first. No. That's untrue.
You only need to see the first episode to know that that's true.
But what if I want a daughter and a dog?
No.
And there it is. There it is.
No. You and Jordan. My goodness.
That man. Yes.
You were the only two people I knew who consistently make that joke.
Like a movie, like a
As if
movie.
it's funny.
What's
It's-
the story? What's the refund policy?
It's not tragic. It might not be aspirational. For example, I don't want a daughter or a dog.
Have you seen the clip that's been going around of what I did to Beej on Checkpoint?
No.
Involved a spray bottle.
Oh yes, no, I have seen that then. Yeah, that's. I have a feeling that's going to become a pretty standard appliance around this place over time. Break glass in case of Caillou.
He didn't even do Caillou.
I know.
Although, knowing that that is what the punishment is for James doing Caillou, that is the thing I'm going to bring out on James.
It's not even the most tragic thing in anime, to be honest.
No, it's true.
The most
It's
tragic.
not. It's just it's something people keep bringing up.
The most tragic thing is the fact that the candies from that film, Grave of the Fireflies,
Uh-huh.
are no longer going to be made. The company's shutting down production.
Yeah. You want to know something even more tragic?
Mm-hmm.
Beach still has just a can of them never opened in our thing, and they definitely
Oh,
went bad in like
no.
2006 or something.
So they're never going to be open then.
I don't think they should be.
No.
I think there's a store in town that still, I think probably still has a bunch if you really want more.
I don't. They weren't that. They're not that great candies. I mean, again,
It's a candy drop. It's a sugar drop thing. They're fine.
yeah, war orphans can't be choosers.
Yeah, I've never watched that movie and I never am going to. I can't. I know what it's about. And you know, the thing I do when I sit down to watch movies is generally not, gee, I want to watch a tragedy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the last couple of years. Very rarely have I been like, yes, entertainment time. What do I want to do? Tragedy.
It's just the wonderful juxtaposition. The first thing that comes to mind when you say, "Oh, I can't see that film. I know what happens." It's like, Heather, just because it's spoilers for Grave of the Fireflies doesn't mean it's still not emotionally engaging.
No, that's why I don't want to watch it.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah, that I can understand. If someone says, "Oh, I can't see Grave of the Fireflies," I already know what happens.
Like,
the big reveal's gonna be lost on me.
I've just finished Life is Strange. If I'd known the stuff that was going to happen in that, I wouldn't have been able to play it either. This is why I don't look up things about narrative games before I play.
Yeah.
I don't mind sad things. I can't go into stuff with them. That's why I actually haven't finished watching the reboot they did of Full Blooded Alchemist.
Full Metal, right.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Blood Alchemist.
Okay, and it wasn't even the dog thing. I hadn't even gotten that far. I got to like whatever part, and I was just like, oh, right, that character's gonna die. No, I will not watch that character die again. The end. I'm done.
A fair tack to take. I'm just now wondering to myself if Edward Elric has ever donated blood before. Because if so, then he can no longer be the full-blooded alchemist.
I mean, he donated at least an arm and a leg worth.
I did good point. Yeah, there's about a pint in there.
Kind of went with him.
They make boots for beer. Why not just take it from the source? Cut off this German man's leg and drink the beer inside. I should give Life is Strange a playthrough, but I still have to get through 13 Sentinels first.
Yeah, that's in my backlog too. I will tell you, I definitely have during well, I mean, there's just like every content warning under the sun in the game. But during a place that had many content warnings going on, there was a during my playthrough, there was a part where this guy enters the room holding a he's got a gun because he's supposed to do like a thing, and you're supposed to stop like certain things from happening. And when he came into the room the second time after I rewound time and did whatever, only the gun came into the room.
This is floating gun.
This floating gun, and I was very confused by it because the first time I hadn't been watching, so I was just like, wait, what? How? There's also like a weird like stealth area thing that happened where there's these guys with flashlights, and you're supposed to stay out of the way of the flashlights. The flashlight stayed where it was, and the guy kept walking.
Nice.
He just floated there, and then I was just like, I didn't know because clearly it's the guy I'm supposed to be not getting caught with, and I didn't know if I could move into the flashlight or if the game would be like, oh no, you ran into a light. Mm-hmm. And then as I moved, the flashlight just like teleported to where the guy was, and I was like, oh, okay. It's a little strange.
I love PC
I was playing
games.
the Nintendo Switch version.
Wow!
I do not know if those bugs were just there or if that was a Switch thing.
I can't. Yeah, no, that's you usually get that sort of bug on a PC game, not on a Switch game.
Yeah.
Damn.
Floating gun is just really funny.
Oh, floating gun reminds me of my favorite bit from Thor: Love and Thunder. All the bits with Stormbringer getting incredibly jealous at Thor about his relationship with Mew Mew, mm-hmm. And it just makes me want to write my own story or short film about a guy, a short action comedy about a guy and his partner, a sentient floating Glock. It doesn't speak, but it can, of course, emote by moving around. And I don't know.
I mean, I know most of the time when I've seen like weird bugs like that, it's generally been on PC. I know there was like one time I was over at your place and Corey was playing some sort of game, like this was years ago, and I was just watching, and like in the middle of a cutscene, this person just like zoomed by, like with no walking animation. They just bloop, and I was just like, this is the best thing about video games, and I don't know why they keep taking them out.
Oh, my Yakuza daughter got stuck around a corner once, and I started a cutscene, and then she just shows up sliding around the corner like some sort of skateboard.
I could be anyone, large as a lion stalking his lover, small as the dying sun.
My favorite bug still, though, is from Yakuza 8. Mm-hmm. While I was spending some time grinding my characters to get their level up, one of the characters fainted and fell down, but then started to slide in an orbit around the party, and just kept going, and for the rest of the fight was just sliding around. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I've had some fun ones in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Mm-hmm. I had a weird one where my character suddenly like sped up their running animation. They did not run any faster, but it also seemed like they were missing some frames in the running animation.
Oh no.
And that was weird. Or I've had fun ones where Donald Duck is in the middle of a temper tantrum, and while he's doing that, he's just sliding across like the pavement.
Yep.
For no reason.
Characters gotta be in the right spot for what they're doing. Except when they can be anywhere else.
Yeah, like, I mean, as long as the game doesn't actually crash.
Yes.
I find stuff like that really funny and fun.
Yeah. Well, crashes aren't funny.
I mean, you gotta load up the game again.
Exactly.
Or you've lost progress.
I want to maintain progress and have batshit things happen.
I'm okay with watching characters slide around on the ground in ways that they're not supposed to sometimes, and
Dust and I could be what you think.
it's funny to find like the sub ocean as long as you can get back out of it.
Yes. Unfortunately, sub-ocean is one of those things that happens way too often in one-eye car games. Most third-party tracks, when you initially load them in a third-party vehicle, just start with you falling through the ground.
I do feel like there is no better stress test that can that is done on some of those driving games you do than the 24-hour Le Mans stream.
Oh, you've tested this game? How long? Ah. I'm so excited to get to the episode. In this week's Pop Team Epic, they have brought in the voice actors for Majima and Kiryu to do a couple bits.
As those characters, or just
Nope.
okay?
As the two girls.
Oh, right. Forgot they do how that show works.
Yeah. It's an odd show. For those who don't understand, Pop Team Epic is a gag, sketch gag anime where the show is 15-ish minutes long, and then they repeat the show a second time with gender-swapped voice actors, usually from high-profile ones from in the industry. Boop, boop, boop. This will go well with the bloodsucker.
Gotta have a bloodlust to have a bloodsucker?
It helps.
Heard that show referenced 3 separate times.
It's definitely what I would consider an advanced anime. Which is to say that it's not going to hold your hand in terms of references for jokes and whatnot.
It's... Well, and I feel like some enjoyment comes out of knowing who some of those voice actors are.
And a lot of it does, actually.
So there's definitely a different knowledge set you need there.
But the first half is always fun. That one has fewer voice-based inside jokes, but that doesn't stop the number of inside jokes.
There's another painted woman at the foot of the stage. Blue eyes, black thighs, you don't give a damn.
Oh yeah, Metric Furlong brings up they had a Uppsala Evangelion alumni voice cast. One of the previous episodes was also featuring the voice actors behind Char and Amuro.
Every time I cried wolf, you to call my bluff. You start to call me more fashionable names. I chip my teeth on our wedding day. Bang, bang, bang goes the front door. Bang, bang, bang goes my heart to the floor. You'd be a liar if you settle for more. These are the plights of the ever unsure.
I haven't actually watched a ton of anime lately. I've been doing just like Star Trek hardcore. I've gotten through DS9. I'm almost on season 2 of Voyager now.
Oh, you're doing Voyager. That's...
Voyager's fine.
yeah, I
It's
guess.
fine. Honestly, it is. It's like, I mean, it's not like I do other stuff while I watch these shows.
Yeah.
This isn't Anime is not a thing I can watch when I'm doing other work. And when I watch, especially longer running shows, I watch English shows that I know have a lot of seasons to them while I'm processing videos and doing thumbnails and stuff. Stuff that I can, like, if I don't watch like 2 or 3 minutes of a scene, I still know what's going on later. That kind of thing. And Star Trek has really filled that void for me nicely. And honestly, Voyager is fine so far of what I've seen.
Oh.
It is very popcorn.
Heather, have you ever seen Stargate? SG-1?
I'm not watching Stargate, Ian.
Oh, Heather, you should watch Stargate SG-1 as your background show stuff. It's so popcorny for that, and it works so well. If I had not... I think it's still a few years early for me to do a rewatch, but... Just thinking about your description of Star Trek absolutely fits that mold.
Oh, it probably does.
When all the wanting wants is what you think you want, but really haven't got.
It's just we have all of it on like Netflix, so it's very easy for me to just
Oh, okay.
Told me I could stay until the morning.
Yeah, I will say, because I've seen everything from the original season now, and going forward, because I'm just doing it in order. Next Generation is still my favorite for characters. Deep Space Nine currently, I think, is my favorite for more epic plot lines. Although I still think the ending is weird. I want to specify that by saying, I think the ending they do to the war is not bad, but the weird ending they do for the religious stuff is odd. And that episode ended for me half an hour in when they wrapped up the war portion, and then they were like, we gotta do something about those Pa Wraiths, I guess.
Poor Cisco.
Yeah, that felt weird. Also, a bunch of the montaging felt weird.
He's back though, in comic book form.
Oh sure. I mean, everybody continues living on in comic book form.
They woke him back up.
But you know.
I think part of one of my favorite things about DS9 is what it did specifically to the next-gen characters who hung around.
Holds all of our smallest memories hostage. We were witness to
Chief O'Brien, 24th century wife guy.
He had like some weird back-to-back episodes of just one traumatic thing after another, and I felt bad for him a lot.
You should.
Like, he didn't feel like he could catch a break sometimes.
Real stand-in for the audience.
Yeah, but like Voyager so far, like, it's just kind of fun and popcorny, and currently doesn't feel like there's anything of real consequence really happening, which is fine. I don't always need that in a show, but I do like some of the characters quite a bit, so I'm having fun with it.
That's good.
I think after that's Discovery.
Enterprise. Well, yes.
Isn't this Discovery then Enterprise?
There is absolutely no Star Trek show in between Voyager and Discovery. That's where Enterprise goes. Yes.
Oh, it's Enterprise. Okay, I wasn't really sure. After Voyager, because Voyager was about like the last time, roughly in terms of like what's going on timeline wise, where I stopped watching cable TV. So I stopped paying attention to what TV shows were out currently, because we were starting to get some streaming service stuff going on around that period of time, but not like current TV is on streaming platforms.
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. In that time frame, I was pirating a lot of television. Because it was the best way to watch TV at the time.
At that time, I would have been mostly just heavy on anime. Okay, so we've gotten through all of that.
A bunch of music.
Do you know where we keep
I do not. Let's just see what's in our music directory. We're not going to play any music from our previous episodes. Just getting that right out
We're
there.
looking for
Users, maybe? Gaming PC. And then music.
wow, we've got stuff from 2020 in here.
Yep.
Okay,
We
this is
haven't-
not where it's hiding.
No. We've cleaned this up. Do we even have it on this computer?
I don't know. If I take us to booth, will you take a look?
Yeah, let me do that for you. In fact, let me just see if I can. I think it's on this computer, definitely.
It's the
Ah,
right
see, yep.
time to rise up to the top. Prime time. 'Cause we can't get enough. Fight for
The city that we made,
take back
the power that you crave.
It's a bit of a banger, anyway. So there we go. That's there. This one we need to go to. Please work.
Do the slashes not go the other way?
They do on every computer except for Windows.
Huh.
Yep.
All right.
But I don't know if these computers are networked together.
They might not be. I don't think we usually.
Which means I might be able to get there from the other side.
For those of you curious, we're basically just gonna go. We're just trying to find the big giant circles music that we use for when a stream goes online and offline and whatnot.
Yeah,
because we know that is fairly safe for our uses. We would like this episode to make it to YouTube, which is why we're not using our old New Year's style music from previous episodes that have not made it to YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you're like, what are you talking about? Well, it didn't make it to YouTube, did it?
What's my account name?
For that computer,
Yeah.
that would be the Stream PC.
Right, but the username.
Like the device name?
No.
Oh, really?
There we go.
I mean, you also spelt it wrong here.
You know what? That could be the big reason. Yes, thank you. For those playing along at home, Ian typed in the wrong name twice in a row.
Also, is it maybe that the caps lock is on? Is that a problem?
Was it on?
It says it's on. Literally says caps lock was on.
Okay. We don't have a thing, do we?
Oh, like
USB thing.
I don't really carry USB sticks around like I used to.
Yeah, same. Hold on a second. Okay, it does need an account. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wondered.
Yep. Okay, so now we need to go to that.
Trying not to backseat tech support.
No, you're if you know something that I'm not catch
Well, because
on
I'm not 100% sure, and so it's like suggestions sometimes it's not.
You're allowed to with me. Okay, it was already there. Cool.
That was another thing I was going to ask is, have we tried the computer that...
I thought they were on D or on C, but apparently they're on D.
Well, we should probably put them on C, because we can find that.
Well, we're gonna put them on C on this one. Yeah, there we go. And where are we here? Good. Bonk. Okay, that should do it.
Okay. So...
You could probably just go to My Music, actually. Or, yeah.
I'm in here now.
Yeah, we live here. There we go. Boop. And we're back.
Let's go with...
Sounds good. Moose bait. That was a quick load, actually. I remember it taking a little bit longer in past.
Yeah, a little.
Good job. Developers. Random trivia. Hey, Ian, how long has it been since you've seen a moose? About 5 years. About 5? I think it was that long ago.
I still remember being at school and there being like a school-wide email that was like, and when I say school, I mean college, that was like, don't go outside for a little while. There's a moose running around on the school grounds and just don't. If you can avoid it.
And how did they deal with it?
I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't tell us they didn't send out an email to tell us when we should leave. Most of us just laughed at it. And I think we just did whatever.
And what's a moose gonna do to you?
Me personally? Oh, nothing. It definitely owes me money. But other people, who knows? Maybe they owe the moose money.
I say it's not like a Canada goose, but then I remembered False Knees, webcomic about Canadian birds, just posted recently a concept art for what if Canada goose, but ostrich? I want this for my life.
We call that kind of designing Pokemon.
Well, given this song is, I believe, about James Turner, makes sense.
I believe James Turner left Pokemon
I
recently.
don't keep up with the trades.
I read a lot of stuff about video games
You-
because there's a show I'm on.
You literally
where we
do keep up with the
talk about
trades.
video games. It's called Chill Point. You can find episodes about it on youtube.com/LRRVG. Eventually, YouTube's gonna understand that it should process the Video Game Awards, and the live reaction video we did on that'll go up. I watched the Video Game Awards for work, Ian. With other people watching me.
That's pretty impressive. You're a regular Joan Rivers. I also watched the Video Game Awards, but it was for profit, and no profit was had. Though we did get a nice trailer for AC. Yes, that's right, kids. As tweeted earlier, if you're talking about AC on Twitter, it's
Right.
not Animal Crossing.
Armored Core.
It's not Assassin's Creed. It is now Armored Core.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how many different abbreviations there are that I'm always like, this game? No, that's not right. This game.
It's our time to shine now. Bring back the grip.
So I take it that you've played Armored Core 1 through 5?
Yes, I absolutely have. Absolutely not.
Wow, that just goes all the way back.
Well, at least it brings us all the way back.
That's true.
Ooh, yeah.
Huh.
More blasts from the past.
Funny thing is, Paul legitimately has that as his ringtone, and it really messes with me in real life.
Especially because it never gets into the drop.
Yeah, we found, because we ended up starting a little late for the pre-show. We, Beej and I watched the Dead Cells crossover trailer afterwards, because it's like Castlevania is their current crossover, and I think Dead Cells might actually be the metaverse game that nobody's thinking of it as a metaverse game.
I mean, I'm certainly not thinking of it as a metaverse game, but that's mainly because I don't believe that the metaverse is a thing.
It's not, but it's generally like, that's what they call like Fortnite and bullshit, and it's just adding characters to every game.
Okay, sure.
They did a thing with Dead Cells not that long ago that was literally the Everyone is Here campaign that Smash did.
Oh, right. Okay. Which one is Dead Cells again?
It's a roguelike.
Okay.
That's the end of my explanation, because that's actually all I know about it,
Okay.
besides one character having a flame for a head. Because I've not played it. But every now and then I do wonder if I should.
I every time I hear about Dead Cells, my mind is immediately thinking about Splinter Cell, and so I don't have any idea what the game actually is.
I think it's much more fantasy-based.
Okay. Then I absolutely have no knowledge. Oh, I mean, yeah, let's wub it up. Detecting rhythm. We're having trouble detecting the rhythm.
I mean, they showed a thing I never expected to happen, which was Hades 2. Mainly because I didn't think they'd do a sequel. And then I didn't think they'd actually call it a sequel name.
But they did give it a subtitle, if I recall.
Hades 2?
Wasn't it Hades 2, the something for something something something?
I don't
Or was it there another?
recall. Are you thinking of Bayonetta?
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking
Because
about
that
Bayonetta.
one was like Bayonetta Origins for the longest time, and then eventually revealed that it had a subtitle.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll do better than X-Men Origins. And have one entry in the series.
I mean, I kind of dig the art style they had going for it. I just don't know if I'll care about the gameplay. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just watch somebody else play it.
Actually, yeah, it was people talking about Platinum specifically as the crazy beat 'em up game. And I'm like, people remember the grasshopper manufacturer exists. And then it just got me thinking that of how many good Japanese game directors there are right now who don't give a fuck. You've got Yoko Taro, you've got Miyazaki, you've got Kojima, and you've got Suda Goichi. Like, ooh, there is some strong talent over there in terms of the what the fuck game genre.
Don't give a fuck and have the prestige to get away with what they're
Yes,
doing.
yeah, exactly.
I would think would be a important qualifier, because I feel like there are a lot of people who in the indie space who have maybe not as high of a level but have similar qualities who could not get away with some of the stuff
So
that
that's an interesting
is going on.
point of view, because I would feel like the indie space would be a lot more forgiving to the don't give a fuckitude and the what you can get away with in the
So
game.
Kojima did Death Stranding. That game has so much money put into it, and I don't think you could get an indie game that would be able to get like that high, like get that kind of budget
You definitely not
and,
the budget.
and do that kind of thing. Is what I mean. Also, Kojima has a habit of saying things like he's an indie publisher as if he's on the same level as a lot of smaller
No,
indies.
I'm not claiming that. But I do feel like people can... The attitude of not hand-holding, not... How do I describe this? I guess it feels like, I want to say people who are taking games as an art form in a different direction, but that's also not true because there are other games that are critically acclaimed and also solid and good and well made, like, from the indie space on upwards. But I don't feel like Super Giant Games is trying in any way to create a game that feels like they don't give a fuck.
No,
And I certainly don't feel like I'm getting that sort of attitude from any of the FIFA games.
I do think though there is a level of where you kind of in a AAA space you get, if you have a specific name, you get to get away with a lot more in not giving
Oh,
a
absolutely.
fuck than others would.
But I think there's a lot more of those in the Japanese space than there are in the English space right now as well.
When you say Miyazaki, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Elden Ring Miyazaki.
Okay, cool. I was like, I know there's a video game one, and I don't remember what category he's.
Hayao Miyazaki, I always get tripped up whenever they say, and Miyazaki's in the audience. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing there? Ah,
Yeah.
good enough. Yeah, I guess it's
Death Stranding 2 looks very strange.
it-
Like, Death Stranding 1 has kind of been, not in my backlog, but a curiosity that I'm like, well, maybe one day that is a thing that I'd pick up and play, because it does seem interesting. And then seeing what they showed for 2, I was like, I think you've made this game weirder somehow, and I don't even know how, because I haven't played either of these things.
Computer Colonics, thank you for that singular creative vision. That I think is maybe more what what I'm looking for in terms of describing what I'm seeing. And I feel like that's something you can get away with. You can get away with in two places, and that is in the indie space and in a AAA space if you are an auteur name. This is not to say that auteur directors in the game space are solely responsible for the output of their work. There are a lot of people who work on games, no matter what the game.
So were there things you were kind of hoping that would get talked about or announced? Because you said something about how you watched it, but you didn't quite get whatever.
Oh yeah, what I wanted out of the Video Game Awards was a Steam Deck, and I absolutely did not get one of those.
Yeah, I tried as well.
And honestly, I expect very little about video game announcements these days in terms of things for me. So seeing Death Stranding 2, I still need to play the first one, but definitely feels right. And the Armored Core was absolutely like, okay, this is for Ian as gamer.
I was glad to see something from Earthblade. That's the Celeste developers' new game. Just because they had announced that they were doing a game and they'd given it a title, but we hadn't actually seen anything of it. I'm not currently hyped for the game because I know it's probably not coming out for a while, so my brain's just like, oh, that's neat. But it's kind of nice to see. I follow a number of indie games that take forever to come out because it takes time to develop, and indie games especially seem like they need to talk about their games so that people know about them way in advance, because they do need that funding in order to get a thing going and whatnot. So it's always nice to see when they announce more stuff about a game, even though I know it means it's still maybe a couple years out, because then you know that stuff is making progress. And I say that because I've watched some indie games I've had interest in go from weird, like, oh, we have like this funding now and we're being backed by this thing now, and then if like something happens a year later and they're like, so a thing happened and now we're not being backed by this thing and we'll be back, and then you don't hear anything for a very long time.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I hope that's working out okay.
I find the necessary self-promotion quite distasteful for things
sure.
that don't exist, for things that aren't exist yet.
I would definitely prefer more, especially in the large budget range of things. I would definitely prefer. I don't want to hear about your game unless it's coming out in like the next 3 months. I don't want to hear about something that's coming out in 2024 right now.
Yeah, that doesn't help me.
If it's coming out between January and March of 2023 at this point, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you, but right now, I just don't care about 2024. I barely comprehend that 2022 has happened, and it's almost done. So, like, I don't want to know about that year. Or, you know, if you could give me an actual date and when the game's supposed to come out. At least that's nice. That's nice to know. It's why I'm very hyped for the idea of Silk Song. But I refuse to acknowledge it exists until I'm given an actual date when it's coming. And I hang out in some video game forums, not Reddits, not weird Discords, an actual nice small video game community forum that I will not tell you where it is because it's nice and small and no one is allowed to find me there. And they're all very sweet and I love them, but there's definitely the people who are like, oh no, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in May and we barely know anything about it. They have to tell us about it now. And I'm like, no, they don't. They've got 3 more months before they need to tell me anything.
Sorry, I need to readjust. There is nothing I find more tedious than speculation about things. Especially about games or movies.
Movies I don't like doing speculation about because it's just going to be a movie and it's going to be done and it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Some video game speculation about plot and stuff I don't mind between friends. And not like in the overly hyped, I think this has to happen, this should happen kind of thing, just more of a, oh, I saw these parts in this game. Do you think that maybe I'll expand on that?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. I enjoy those kinds of conversations.
Yeah.
But again, it's got to be with
It does have to be the right people, and I'll admit I do get involved in those sometimes.
But yeah, anything that's like, oh, they have to tell us about this thing at this point, or clearly something is wrong, is an attitude I see a lot of. That I'm like, no, they don't.
For me, it's been after so many years of fans upset about works that are out there. You gotta understand, people. It's not your artwork. It's someone else's artwork to make. And you can react to it as much as you want after the fact. But that doesn't change that it gets to be made by someone else first.
I guess I also just don't like conversations that feel like,
Beauty.
feel like I need to be down about a thing that hasn't even happened yet.
Because that's a lot of what it comes down to.
I don't mind if people want to be excited about a thing that is coming. Like, I think there's something good to be said about looking ahead in your calendar and being like, oh, this event's coming up or this thing's happening, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
But once people start going, you know what? Game might suck, though.
Mm-hmm.
I can't guarantee this game might be good. And I'm just like, do you just not have anything fun to do? For, like, what? What?
I especially disappreciate the people who spend so much time trying to unravel the story before the fact.
Oh, that's a little weird.
It's like the inverse of the 2-hour explaining the ending of X video on YouTube. Like there is nothing of value that has been produced here.
I've also seen people do the doom and gloom thing before a game comes out, and then after the game's released, it's the best thing they've ever played, and I'm just like, I'm too tired to doom and gloom myself before anything. In fact, I feel like if you're constantly doing that, it's not a bad thing to try to mitigate problems. But if you're constantly looking for problems too hard, I feel like you're just gonna set yourself up for garbage feelings all the time. And I have plenty of other ways to get those.
Oh yeah.
Don't include that.
But I don't need to get upset about something that doesn't even exist yet. Or excited about something that doesn't exist. Because that's just, that's a recipe for either disappointment or...
Oh, the pre-hyped, you giving yourself so many expectations that the thing doesn't work out at all that way?
Yeah. And now you have to spend time not just comparing what you're seeing to what exists, but to what you wanted to exist in your head. And if I can approach a work without preconceptions, I feel like I'm going to have a better time, or at least I'm going to be able to understand what's not landing for me better. Yeah, you can be hyped for something as a without having expectations for it.
I really like, so on Mastodon, I like when people are using the spoilers thing. Not spoilers, the content warning thing as a spoilers tag.
Is a spoiler warning?
To be like, oh hey, I'm gonna have thoughts about this thing. Because I've also found on Twitter, there's been a couple of times where I'm in the middle of watching a series at the same time as everyone else, and it's not that the person has written spoilers, but I've seen people write things like, oh, I'm so disappointed by the ending that, like, and it's vague posting, because they're trying not to be spoilery, But in reading that weird opinion, I've had moments where I don't know if I want to watch the ending now, or like I feel like I've colored it in a negative light before I've even seen it. And on Mastodon, because people have a thing where they essentially are doing a spoiler warning and then they talk freely behind a thing, there's less of that. And I just prefer that.
Yeah, I ended up having to turn the content warning sliders off on my system just because I get upset by some of the things that people put behind content warnings. Like, why did you make me do an extra click to read this? I think, Heather, this is time for us to shut this show down because I need to make a hard out today.
Oh! Okay.
I got a film to watch. Evangelion's playing. One night only with subtitles.
Every other night without?
Well, there is one other night, and yes, it is the dub version. So.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming to Rhythm Cafe and enjoying Melody's Escape 2. Check out patreon.com/loadingreadyrun.
Store.com/loadingready... loadingreadyrun.com/store. And, of course, all of the plethora of our other channels over youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. And, of course, you can find us at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun if you want to watch us live. But, yeah.
And Ian, where can people find you?
tilty.housc, tilty.house, or tiltyhouse.com if you're from the past. Heather, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me over at twitch.tv/lunarjade. And, yeah, I'm just going to say that.
That's all we
can
need.
figure out the rest later.
Have a good night, folks. We'll see you next time.